Hello everyone and welcome back to World Builder. Since last time, not much has happened, and we are here today in what is potentially, and most likely, the last episode done in the Desert City. For at least a very long time. We're going to finish it up today, using the new 1.14 blocks, add in all the final decorative stuff that needs to go in, and of course leave it without any interiors finished. Yeah, not really feeling many interiors, so I'm just not going to do them. But, you know, the city itself is finished for the most part, and we can move on to the swamp area now. So I needed things to fill the space in a lot of these areas. So I added these little farm things using the same like barricade that is in the market stalls, and little piles of logs with rails on them, and the little lamppost things that I designed in the previous episode. I also used slabs to kind of level out the area, and added in some little like sandstone rock things, um, just to help with the overall like aesthetic here. And of course I made little farms all over the place, and these little rocks, because they fill the space well, they look nice, so I decided to keep them. I also went and added slabs every time there was a descend or ascend in the terrain, and at first I was kind of unsure about it, but the more I did it, the more I liked it. It just really makes it seem like it's a hill rather than like a jutting thing going up, um, and it just makes it look a lot smoother and nicer, especially at this small of a scale. Um, so I did that for pretty much like every hill that's here. Just added slabs. Another thing that we had to do for this was to remove every torch and replace it with a lantern. Because one of those blocks looks really good and the other one does not. So there you go. Now, it takes a long time to do, but you know, it's worth it because lanterns look amazing. The only unfortunate part about lanterns is that you can't place them on the sides of blocks like you can with torches, so you have to hang them from things, or like put them on the ground. Um, so, you know, it's kind of some difficulty choosing what to do there, but overall I think the way I did it worked out well, putting them on the roofs and hanging down from the little wood struts. Um, yeah. So there are, in most of these empty, like larger empty spaces, I'm just going to do these farm things, because they look nice, and they kind of fit in well enough, with the area. I mean, they have to get food somehow, right? So it makes sense that the villagers have farms to get their food. Um, yeah. And again, doing the whole sandstone slabs over the sides of the cliff, or the hill, I guess. The terrain changes. So this is kind of like an aerial view of going around and changing all of the torches to lanterns. I didn't really want to do this closer up because I'd have to be moving the camera every like 5 seconds, and that would just take a while to do. So I feel like this aerial view is better to really show like how many torches there were and now how many there aren't. They're all gone in the main city area, and replaced with lanterns. And because I don't have shaders, I don't know how it looks with shaders on. Um, but with shaders off, I mean, the lanterns still look pretty good. And I don't know about light levels and stuff either for mobs to spawn, but since we're playing on peaceful, it doesn't really matter. Um, yeah. So there are a lot of torches in the area, which is why replacing them with lanterns just looks a lot better. So now we come to an area that I'm not the most like happy with. I don't think it looks bad. It's just not great. So I do the same slab thing, but the terrain itself here makes it really difficult to do much of anything because I'd have to be going downhill a lot. I could have like terraced it out, but with the way the path is, it would just look kind of awkward, I think. So I ended up just making a lamppost on one side and like a little rock thing on the other and sticking a lamp on it. A lantern. Um, and in the other like areas up there I also did some lanterns. But in this larger space I am able to make a farm because it's big enough, and I decided to do like a double combo farm because there was enough room. So, you know, same barrier thing, gotta get a natural shape involved with your farm design. And, of course, breaking out and replacing the walls with an amalgamation of stair slabs and whatnot, to just mainly make it seem not, like, completely rigid, you know? So I do the same sort of slab thing along the castle wall in some areas also, just to really bring it in. And the little log pile over there to kind of bring that area together. So down here, same slab thing going in. I really like the way it looks, just looking on it. You know, you got a lot of areas where terrain changes, and the slabs just make it seem a lot more smooth than it does otherwise. Unfortunately, there are no sand slabs, because I would use those too, but there aren't, so I can't. There are also the market stalls inside, or attached to the houses. There were two of them. I filled in the other one when I filled in that first one, just with like a chest and then like an item of some kind. So I do the same slab thing over here, and I think I was intending to do something else there, but we'll get back there in a second. So this area is also one that I am, you know, kind of like confused with, because there really isn't much room for anything to go. So I just kind of slabbed it over and left it and hope it was good. So in this area that we're now back to, there was this large chunk of space here that I didn't know what to do with. So I decided to put in a couple more market stalls. And using the same style as before, except now, using suggestions from the comments, there are carpets on top of it in various locations to really add a couple extra layers of depth to the roof itself. So in this area, I do another one of these, the like lean-to stalls where the roof is attached to the wall and there's fences. And I think those really help to fill the area in, and they look really good. They fit really well with the whole area. And in this area, got to connect the path to the inn, because you don't want your path going away from the inn. And another lamppost to just really fill the space. That's really their main point, is to fill the space. And then I use, you know, a little rock there also to help fill the space. If I didn't do those things, and if you don't like want to in your own builds, it wouldn't look bad. It just wouldn't look as like full and lively. So here, I'm going around and adding in dead bushes. Partially to fill the space. Partially because I think they really provide some atmosphere to the area. And you can kind of see them in the walkthrough now. And now it's time to focus on the docks. So I won't be building any more ships in this episode or again in the desert city, just because I'm not really feeling it, and I kind of want to just be done with this area for a while, because I've been here for so long. Be done with this area and move on to the swamp area in the next episode. But also, the same lamppost design, just using the smooth sandstone block. It looks, you know, okay. I think it could have been done a bit better, but overall it's pretty good. And, sorry, it's my mic. And adding in a bunch of these, like, utility blocks, and call them that, like the loom and the smithing table, the blast furnace, all of that, just everywhere in clusters. Because that really makes it seem like there's people here, and they're actively shipping stuff out and taking stuff in. If there's clusters of things that, like, people are storing or whatever. And I really like the way that it looks now. It looks a lot more full. It looks like people live there instead of it just being like a deserted town, because there's market stalls with like nothing in them and all that stuff. And on this side, doing the same thing, just adding in lampposts and filling in the market stalls and stuff with lanterns and whatnot. I could have built more ships, but you know, I'm not really feeling it. And the river's kind of small, so some areas where I'd build ships might make it look a bit too full and all that stuff. So, you know, I can make excuses all I want, but I'm just not building ships. You know, not really feeling it. So the same thing here again, adding these utility type blocks, as well as like melons and hay bales and stuff, just in clusters everywhere to really make it seem like people live here. So now it's time to clear out all these sea lanterns because I don't need them if I'm playing without shaders, and it just looks a lot better without them. So with that, I'm going to leave this here. Leave a like, subscribe, if you enjoy, comment, feedback you have for me, and I'll see all of you later.